Hey there everybody, Mazrock here, and today we have tank tier set bonuses for 10.1 to talk about. As you can see up above, Blizzard has revealed every tier set bonus for 10.1. We're going to be going over all of the tank ones right here, right now. I did react to this live on stream last night when when it was revealed, so I have had a night to sleep on things. I do got my Timmies because my brain still feels like scrambled eggs, but let's we're going to be talking about these. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. It goes such a long way to helping out the channel. If you're looking for written guides, thetankclub.com is a growing site that's going to be covering every single MMO for tanking, beginners guides, intermediate guides, and all of that fun stuff. And I'm doing the WoW portion of it. So there's a link down below if you want to check out the Tank Club. And of course, if you wish to support me directly, there is a Patreon, which is going to be getting early access workshops to many videos that are already up there. For example, I had a video that's supposed to be scheduled to be coming out today called Could Evokers Be Tanks? It was an excerpt from a stream that has been online for a couple of days now on Patreon, but now this one has to take its place, so it gets pushed back. So if you're looking for more or early access content of all sorts, written or video, Patreon's the place to get it. And of course, Twitch, come watch me stream, and a Discord if you want to ask questions, have fun, hang out with a wonderful community full of great people. Let's get into the meat of this, because, oh man, she good. All right, Blood DK. 2 set bonus. Heartstrike and Blood Boil deal an additional 20% increased damage. Beautiful. Love it. And they have a 10% chance to grant Vampiric Blood for 5 seconds. For how often you hit these, this is going to proc quite frequently, which is very, very nice. And the 4-piece, when you gain Vampiric Blood, you're infused with Vampiric Strength, which grants you 10% increased strength for 5 seconds. And your Heartstrike and Blood Boil extend the duration of this by 0.5 seconds. This is going to be pretty fun to play around, although I would like to see the 10% strength be added just while Vamp Blood is up. So this is, so when you actually press the button, you get the bonus throughout the whole thing. Maybe increase this to a maximum of 10 seconds. I don't know. It's a little difficult, but all in all, I really, really like Blood. This is going to be a lot of fun to play. It's going to add some survivability. It's adding damage where they need it in Heartstrike and Blood Boil. And of course, 10% strength. That's more parry. That's more damage. That's just everything all around, while making you much tankier with a lot more Vampiric Blood uptime. All in all, I think this is a really interesting direction in where they're going with it. Could this mean that Umbilicus Eternus sees a little bit more play? I don't know. But Red Thirst is now basically, with this, going to be default pick in the capstone area no matter what. It already is, but that just cements that even further. Vengeance Demon Hunter, 2-piece. Soul Fragments heal for 10% more, and generating a Soul Fragment increases your fire damage by 2% for 6 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. So this is really, for 6 seconds, sorry. This is a fairly interesting tier set. Vengeance definitely needed some help in the self-healing department, because what they could do in Shadowlands versus now is different because of the 40% increase buff without the 40% increase to healing that we got in Dragonflight. So this is going to help them quite a bit with some tankiness and add some extra fire damage, which is really, really nice. The 4-piece... I just did this with the 4-piece. Shear and Fracture. Let's just say Fracture because nobody ever takes Shear. After consuming 20... Fracture deals fire damage. So baseline, your Fracture is going to be affected by your 2-piece, which is really, really nice. And of course, you have the increased fire damage from your 2-piece from things like Immolation Aura and things like that. So really good there. After consuming 20 soul fragments, your next cast of Fracture applies Fiery Brand to its target for 6 seconds. This is also very nice defensively. I like where they're going with this. There's still the question of, if you grab the talent, will this spread? Because that would be very interesting as well and help with a lot of tankiness scenarios. This could open up some more builds for Vengeance. All in all, it's a little bit more lackluster than what we got in Season 1, but in Season 1, Vengeance really won out on like how good the tier sets are and how much power you gain from it. So this is a little bit less than Shadowlands, than the first season of Dragonflight, but all in all, this is going to create an interesting play loop and really make Fracture feel really, really good to press, even though it's kind of like a mandatory button for Soul Fragment generation. I like where they're going with this. We're going to have to see what the increase in power is in this, but all in all, this is one I wasn't impressed with it last night, but I slept on it, and the more that I slept, and the more that I thought about it this morning, I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty good. Guardian Druid. This one here, we have to talk about this one. The 2-piece for Guardian Druid. When you take damage, Mangle and Thrash damage and Rage generation are increased by 15%. For 8 seconds, and you heal for 6% of the damage taken over 8 seconds. There has to be an internal cooldown on this. There's no way there's not. I don't know if this is going to be like a 20 second, a 10 second, or whatever, or what. I don't get it. But this is a really, really good 2-piece. Mangle and Thrash already deal a lot of damage. And a moderate amount. It's a good amount of your damage, let's just say. But having Rage generation increased by 15% is huge. That's going to mean more Iron Furs. That can mean that you can weave in Maul a little bit more instead of just trying to stack Iron Furs. There's a lot of things that you can do with this, and I really, really like this 2-piece. How broken this is going to depend on the internal cooldown of the ability itself. The 4-piece, Maul/Raise, damage is increased by 20%. That is not a small amount, and that is going to be really, really fun. And casting Iron Fur or Maul/Raise increases your maximum health by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. This is going to be a very easy maintenance buff to keep up, since basically you're always casting Iron Fur no matter what, right? It's your main rage spender. Like, that's what you need to kind of live at for active mitigation. So having a base 15% increase to maximum health is going to be very nice for Bear. I'm really enjoying that. You have synergies with Frenzied Regeneration, which, you know, it's 32% of your max HP over 3 seconds, which is going to be very, very nice. And of course, Maul/Raise damage increased by 20%. I think this is going to make the physical build really fun to play. I don't know if it's going to make it like super viable, but it's going to be really, really fun. Because you can also take the Absorb Shield from Ursoc's Fury Remembered, and that, just pressing 1 Maul with that is going to, you know, increase your health, increase the shield, and there's going to be a lot of synergies there. All in all, I like where they're going with the tier set. If you're looking at like Season 1 tier set to Season 2 tier set, Season 2 tier set sounds a lot better. A lot better. Right, we're moving down to Monk. Brewmaster. Alright, the 2 set. Blackout Kick damage is increased by 20%. Nice little buff. You have a 10% chance to not reset your Elusive Brawler stacks on a successful dodge. So what Elusive Brawler is your mastery. Every time that you get hit or use Blackout Kick, you gain a stack of Elusive Brawler, which based on your mastery increases your dodge. And every time that happens, that goes up until you get like a 100% chance you dodge an attack, and then that gets reset when you dodge. So this is going to give you a 10% chance to not reset that. So you're going to be able to just gain more dodge tankiness. I like the idea behind this, but I think there's going to be a lot of math that's going to decide how good this is. But all in all, this is going to be really, really good for a lot of mobs. And like if you're, especially in AoE, because I find right now on my Brewmaster handles tyrannical bosses better than it handles a lot of big fort packs. Just because of the way that stagger can work and things like that. Where like if I go on a 20, like, you know, if I go on a tyrannical boss, I find that it's like almost easiest on my Brewmaster compared to any other tank. Versus on Fort Weeks, I actually kind of have to try and work my active mitigation through, not my mitigation, but I roll through my defenses more properly, and I need to be more attentive than I do on the other tanks. So this is actually going to help solve that issue. 4-piece. Again, I did it again. 4-piece. So, Rising Sun Kick grants a stack of elusive brawler now. So now Blackout Kick and Rising Sun Kick are going to grant a stack of elusive brawler. Very nice. When you dodge, your damage and critical strike chance for your next Blackout Kick or Rising Sun Kick is increased by 5%, stacking up to 5 times. This is just an all-around nice stat buff. Now, one thing here that I'm not too happy about, and it's not with the set itself, it's the fact that we are going to be losing Brewmaster's Rhythm. Being able to stagger off an additional 12% of stagger with 4 stacks of Brewmaster's Rhythm is really, really nice. And I honestly think that sort of tier should be in the talent tree. You can take out the 4% damage reduction and like the 1% damage reduction and damage bonus from damage done bonus from the Brewmaster's Rhythm per stack, and just literally put in Brewmaster's Rhythm for each stack you stagger off. And I think that would be a really good 1-point talent that you could opt into as a Brewmaster if you wanted it or if you didn't. It's, you know, it has a lot of synergies with Gaiplin's brew and things like that, which has been really, really nice. I definitely noticed a major uptick in tankiness when I got my 4-piece. So this here, I'm excited for this. This is going to be nice. This is going to equate to more single target damage because Rising Sun Kick is a single target ability. And I find right now on Brewmaster, my single target tyrannical damage, while I can live everything, not a problem, is pretty lackluster compared to other tanks. So this is going to be a way to kind of increase that, which is really, really nice. And Elusive Brawler is just going to allow you to dodge attacks a lot more. Very interested in how this one plays out. I was unimpressed with this one last night, but this is another one where I slept on and I was like, mathematically, I think this is going to turn out to be really, really good. And I am excited for this. Brewmaster has been an absolute beast to play, and I've been having so much fun with it. Protection Paladin. 2-piece. Avenger's Shield causes target struck to burn with Heartfire, dealing an additional 20% of damage dealt over 5 seconds. Heartfire heals you for 100% of the damage it deals. Now, if your dick doesn't get a little hard when I read that, or when you read that, imaginary or not, I don't care what gender you are. If your dick doesn't get a little hard when you read that, I don't know what will. Holy flying shit. That is amazing. I am so, like, man, I might start off next year as a prop pally. I just may. With the 10.0.7 rework that's coming out. I don't know who's doing Protection Paladin stuff, but man, you guys are banging it out of the park. Holy crap. This is gonna, like, can you imagine the damage that Divine Toll is gonna deal? Imagine the damage that Divine Toll deals now, and then add a 20% increase to that as a dot. Yeah, that's going to be so good. It's going to be so fun. Oh my god. And the 4-piece, Judgment's critical strikes can trigger Grand Crusader. This is a very good 2-piece, a very good 4-piece. All around, man, I am... Let's go. Tanks are winning. Tanks are winning on this one. And we're going to go down to Protection Warrior. So, the 2-piece bonus, Shield Slam deals 15% increased damage, which is insane. Let's go. And it reduces the cooldown of a Last Stand by 0.5 seconds. During Last Stand, these effects are doubled. So, Shield Slam is going to deal 30% increased damage, which it already deals 30% increased damage when shield block is up, and it will reduce the cooldown of Last Stand by 1 second. So this is going to make Last Stand a mandatory talent, kind of already is. It's going to make Bolster a default talent no matter what. It pretty much already is. I don't know anybody that doesn't run Bolster, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because it does give you 15 seconds of shield block just for hitting the button on a 2-minute cooldown. This is probably going to make it very consistent, a 1 minute 35, 1 minute 40 CD. Like, I'm pretty sure with aggressive play and proper Shield Slam procs, you could consistently get this to like a minute 30, minute 40, which is going to make shield block uptime even easier to accomplish. But there's some synergies that I was kind of thinking about with maybe Battering Ram to fish for more Shield Slam procs and things like that. all in all, like, this is... Let's go. That's a great 2-piece. Great 2-piece. But the 4-piece. Oh, 4-piece. For 10 seconds after Last Stand ends, Shield Slam unleashes a wave of force, dealing damage to enemies in front of you and reduces the damage they deal to you by 5% for 5 seconds. Now, it all matters how much this unleashing a wave of force is, like, how much damage is that realistically, but God, I hope it's good. I hope it's a lot, and let's go. I'm all for it. I'm all for fishing for Shield Slam procs and just dealing big old damage and playing aggressive, like, very aggressive with Last Stand. This is a tier set to me that's going to sound like it's going to not have a ton of value in small keys, because things, like, I've been in small keys on my Protection Warrior and things last like 10 seconds. Like, you pull a big pack and it dies within like 10-15 seconds, and then all of a sudden you'd have this 10 extra seconds of Last Stand Shield Slam bonus with nothing else to use it on, and it just kind of But if you're, once you start getting into 20s and, a decent sized pull can last 45 seconds, a minute 15, this is going to see some value, and this is going to see good value, right? So the higher key this goes up, the better. The more aggressive you get to play, the longer you're in combat, the more Shield Slam procs you get, shorter cooldown Last Stand becomes, easier shield block time you have, uptime you have. Everything just flows synergistically with this. It's so nice. All in all, I'm so pumped for 10.1, everyone. Like, I'm so pumped. I hope you guys are as excited. Let me know what your favorite tier set out of all the tanks is down below. I would love to hear you guys' comments. Have yourselves a good one, everyone, and happy tanking. Bye.